Hey guys, welcome back to Wallet Snacks and Fun Facts. As we wrap up Women's History Month, we're going to be talking about some things to empower women and get things going in business. So, hey, Thieves.
Hey, Deja, how's it going, girlfriend?
Going great, going great. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Very blessed.
Awesome. So I know that we were talking about how we could, help women who are in business owners going into business, those types of different things. So what are some of the things you want to tell our ladies today?
Well, it juices me up when I meet women that are in business for themselves or that want to be in business for themselves. I love women that have that entrepreneurial spirit. They just want to be a boss, I love that. They just want to be in business for themselves, want to just create something great, and there's always purpose behind it. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think if women, you guys are listening here as we are, empowering you this month of March as we wrap up this month. I just want to encourage you, if you are building a business, you have a hobby and you're turning it into a business, or you're in business for yourself, we just want to encourage you to just keep striving and thriving in what you're doing, and know that you can do it and believe in yourself. And it will be worth it. It will be worth it. So we also just want to, give you some keys and some tips on, when you are in business for yourself, some important things to do, right? I mean, we both know, because we are in business for ourselves. We've been in business for ourselves for many years, right, Data? And I think for me, I always think, when I was transitioning from, my former career to the business that we're in right now, for me, what was really important was to make sure I had some type of cushion, right? Some type of savings in place. Just knowing that sometimes business is up and business is down, and and knowing that, hey, that's normal. It's expected sometimes, right? And just to be prepared for that. And I think when you have that cushion, it's really important. I don't know, any thoughts that you think, would you agree with that?
Totally agree with that. I remember when thinking about going, okay, full-time in business, deciding that, yes, business is what I really want, and talking with the mentor and saying, hey, make sure you have a cushion, of income set aside so that if anything does happen, you can carry yourself during those down months. And so having that emergency fund or that plan in place to make sure that there was some money there, that was talked to me about, to have some money set aside. And I think that was so good, because I mean, being a single mom at the time and getting into business, if I had a couple of bad months back to back, how was that going to truly work? And of course it would make you feel like running back towards the job that maybe you were looking to run away from. And so, yes, definitely important to have that savings, that cushion, to get yourself going and making sure that you're okay. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Different for everybody, right? Like the amount, because sometimes, I mean, everybody's in a different situation in their life. Some people have more responsibility, some people have less. And so I think it varies, because some of you, our viewers, might be thinking, hey, well, how much is a good amount to have, set aside? And I think it really just depends. Like, I think a safe amount to say it would be like 6 months at least of your living expenses, right?
Right.
6 months of your living expenses. That way you're not stressing out. That's a good amount to have. I think a lot of times women want to be a little bit more secure. So sometimes if they want to have, 3 to 6 months of their living expenses and their income, that can give them a little bit more cushion. So I think it varies personally.
Yeah, definitely. And that security thing is the hugest key for women going into business. And I think it's also one of the things that a lot of women who want to go into business, kind of is a fear factor for them, because they don't want to let go of the security of a quote unquote guaranteed check. But they know they have these ideas, they have these desires to help others, and they know that they don't want to necessarily be going into a 9-to-5 every single day. So they're looking to break away, but they're wondering how. And definitely having that amount of money set aside, having a 6-month cushion set aside, will let one know that, hey, I can do this and I'm good for I'm good for a time, because obviously you're going to look at yielding a profit. But ladies, it's also very much so important to understand that, failure is a part of success, and in business, getting started, you're going to have some failures and things of that nature, when you're going through it. And so don't let that discourage you from getting started, and definitely don't let it discourage you from keep on going. Okay. And so how that safety net can be built to help during those times, Phoebe, we kind of talked a little bit about it. And you mentioned being in control of your schedule. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the motivating factors for a lot of women. I mean, for me as well, it's just nice to be able to be in control of your day, and
Mhm.
and having that flexibility, to be able to do the things that you want to do at the times that you want to do them, right? So you can create that schedule and that flexibility, especially if you have a family, you have responsibilities. You want to be there for your kids, but you also want to build something great. So I think it's a balance, right? Because you do still need to be really disciplined with your time, but at
Mhm.
the same time, you can control where and who you want to be able to spend your time with while you're building and working your business. So I think that's really just valuable, and I think it's a huge selling point for most women, because they value that. They value having the flexibility and having the control of their schedule.
Right, right. When I think about that schedule of time, that flexibility, that importance, I think of the movie. It's an old movie. I don't know, back in like the 80s or something, and it was called Baby Boom. And this lady inherits a baby. Imagine that or not, that a distant cousin. Unfortunately, they get into a car crash, and there's an infant baby that now needs to be headed, helped, and she's like the corporate giant of some big company. But now she has this baby, and she's like wanting to do everything in her corporate structure, because she's like on top and living her best life there. But now she has this baby, and she's in love with this baby, and she wants this baby to be good. And it's like, yeah, I have these ideas of what I want to do. And then she just realized that it didn't work, because they controlled her time, they controlled her schedule, they controlled whether or not she could spend time with that baby. And it was like a hassle trying to juggle all those things. And ladies, that's sometimes what happens, is we feel like we're juggling all of these things, and you don't want to put something so important on the back burner. So she creates this basically Gerber, I guess the beginning of Gerber baby food, in the movie, kind of something like that, right? And now has this great business, and it's all hers. And that company now wants her to come back and market the product. Now, why do I bring this up? I bring this up because when we're talking about that flexibility of time, and we're talking about putting your family and your kids first and those different things, you can have it all, just like Phoebe said. It's definitely something that entices us to have it all. But then, of course, when it comes to the schedule, it's definitely important to put things in its place so that you don't um, prioritize sometimes things that should not be prioritized at that time. I mean, think about it. We're women, so we always want to be there for everyone. So maybe you want to be there for your parents, maybe you want to be there for your kids, and you want to be there for all these different things, but there's a time to run your business. So the schedule is also very important in business. You leave your job to get a business so you can control your time, and then you get a business, and then you're just like, I don't know what to do with my time, right?
Yes, that happens. And that leads to a catastrophe in business, because then it defeats the whole purpose of what you're trying to build, right? Letting yourself off the hook and just not having that time management is it can be catastrophic, right? Leads
Exactly.
definitely to less profits, and eventually, working yourself out of business, right? Then you go out of business, and that you don't want. So
Right.
yeah, yeah,
So ladies,
manage.
have a planner, have a schedule, put
Mhm.
something in place, so that you can have that.
Yes.
So you talked about sometimes that could actually lead to you working yourself out of business, and obviously want to help safeguard for things like that for women in business. And so we actually talked about the concept of paying yourself first, even when it comes to your business, right? Because a lot of times in business, you make profit comes in, and then you throw everything back on the business. But at the same time, you do have to pay yourself a paycheck out of your business. I mean, if you have one of those businesses, you have to pay yourself a paycheck out of your business. And then from that paycheck, make sure you still have what we like to call the three boxes, the financial boxes to check off, right? Have those taken care of, having your life insurance, having your emergency fund. So continue to build that cushion, because there are ups and downs in business. And maybe your ups and downs was that first 6 months, you right? And so now you need another cushion to kind of get through any future ups and downs that may happen, you know? And then of course, planning for your own, retirement out of business if your business is not something that can be passed down. Now, hopefully it is, because we want to pass on wealth to our children and things of that nature. But if it's not, you have to still build that retirement so that when you step away, that you're going to be good, right?
Right, right. And I think a lot of times people, women business owners, right, cut themselves short in this area because, and you probably see this a lot too, is that instead of paying themselves first, they just completely reinvest any profits back into their business.
Mhm.
And although it sounds like a very normal and reasonable thing to do, it doesn't set yourself up for success, right?
Right.
And it just is something that is important to recognize that looking out for you first is important, and in order to set yourself up for long-term success in your business and in
Right.
your finances. I mean, in both, right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And then of course, Phoebe, definitely being as powerful and motivating as she is, was mentioning that, of course, when women are in business, we have to, well, not that we have to, just know that we're gonna make it. You're gonna do well. She kind of started off like that, you guys, but just understand that you're gonna do well. You got what it takes. Women were great multitaskers, right? Because things get thrown at us, right? And so you can do this in business and still be able to grow and still be able to move ahead, just because of the skills we have. Women are great communicators, so as being great communicators, those are skills that help us in business, right, Phoebe?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
What else would you, I guess, add with that, with some of our qualities that we have?
Goodness, women are, we're tenacious. We are just tough, and I think when women have that mindset of wanting to be in business for themselves, want to be entrepreneurs, it requires that. It requires that, like, kind of, that edge of
Yes.
saying, I'm going to be relentless. I'm going to be tenacious. I'm going to make this happen. And then, like you said, the belief of just believing is really more than half the battle.
Right.
Believing that you will succeed, because when you believe it, the vision, and you have that vision that's casted in front of you, it will happen, right?
Mhm.
Because what happens is, when you believe and you have the vision, is that the action follows it. And when it's not just there in the atmosphere, right, it's written down, you see it every day, you write it down every day, you speak it every day. I think, I know that those are the things that lead to success.
Right.
um, Especially when we are faced with challenges, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes, there's going to be challenges in day-to-day life, and your business and your family and things like that. So, it really helps to focus on those things, to be able to continue to be focused on where you're going and have that success, day
Mhm.
to day. That's what I would encourage, just to focus on those things and know that it is within them to succeed. Yep.
Right. So women, just remember, a lot of women down in history did some great things to make us have these advances that we have and these opportunities that we have to own our own business, and know that you can do it. And we're right along here with you to help you. So if you're a woman in business and you just need some help, maybe some advice, we are here to empower other women and other entrepreneurs in business. So feel free to reach out in that way as well. Once again, put your finances in order. You have to have those three financial boxes checked off for yourself as an owner in business, to make sure that you are on top of things as things go on. So feel free to reach out to myself or Phoebe. You can find Phoebe on Instagram. You can find Phoebe on Facebook. You can definitely find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. And feel free to comment below. Email us here at Wallet Snacks and Fun Facts, and we'll definitely get back to you. Anything that you want to say, Phoebe?
No, I think that's it. Just have an amazing rest of the day, and all success and blessings to women out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we enjoyed this segment of women in business, and I mean, I'm sorry, women in just women being Women's Month, Women's History Month. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes, women. So enjoy it. Definitely have fun. Keep control of those purses, and we will see you next time.
Bye.